When I was about 12 years old, I spent most of my afternoons at home alone. My mom worked a second shift job at the hospital, and my dad had passed away a few years earlier. I'd get home from school around 3:30, make myself a snack, and basically just kill time until she got home a little after midnight. Our house wasn't anything fancy. It was one of those old two-story homes built in the late 60s, with creaky floors and outdated wallpaper in almost every room. We had a basement that always felt about 20 degrees colder than the rest of the house. It wasn't a finished basement, just concrete floors, exposed pipes, and one naked light bulb that swung slightly whenever the door was opened. We didn't use it for much besides storage. That basement always made me uneasy, even before anything weird happened. There was something about the way sound traveled down there. How even the smallest creak from upstairs echoed like footsteps. I hated going down there, even during the day. But every once in a while I'd have to when my mom asked me to grab something. I'd bolt up the stairs the second I found whatever it was. One Friday night, it was pouring outside. Thunder, heavy rain, wind. The kind of storm that makes your windows rattle. I was curled up on the couch, watching TV with the volume up louder than usual to drown out the noise. I remember the show I was watching too. Are You Afraid of the Dark? Which in hindsight is kind of ironic. I was halfway through the episode when I heard something that didn't come from the TV. It was my mom's voice, calling my name. Eli. At first I didn't really react. She usually called me that way when she got home. A quick check-in to see where I was. But something about the timing didn't sit right. I checked the clock. It was barely 9 o'clock. She never got off before midnight. I paused the TV and listened again. But the house was quiet, except for the storm outside. Then I heard it again. Eli? A little quieter this time. Like she was further away. I got up and checked the front door. Locked. The porch light was off. I checked her bedroom upstairs. Empty. I even opened the garage door from the laundry room to see if her car was there. It wasn't. And then I heard it a third time. Eli. This time it sounded like it was coming from the basement. I froze. Something about the way she said it didn't feel right. It wasn't panicked or angry or even tired, just kind of flat. Like she was just saying it to say it. No emotion, no urgency. I went to the basement door and stood there for a long time, hand on the doorknob, heart pounding. The light was off down there. I hadn't turned it on. I hadn't opened the door. But then something weird happened. I could smell her. Not a bad smell, just that specific scent of her work perfume mixed with the hospital. Antiseptic and lavender. She always smelled like that when she got home. I don't know how to explain it, but I knew that smell was coming up from the basement. I could feel it. I opened the basement door just a crack. The smell got stronger. The stairs disappeared into total blackness. I didn't turn on the light. Eli! The voice called again, a little louder this time. Still that same flat tone. I should have slammed the door shut. I should have locked it and called someone. But I didn't. I stepped down one stair, then another. Just enough to lean forward and try to see into the dark. I couldn't see anything. But I felt watched. It was this prickling sensation on the back of my neck, like something was just standing a few feet away, waiting for me to come closer. Then I heard it again, but not calling my name this time. It was breathing. Heavy, slow breathing. Right at the bottom of the stairs. I slammed the door and locked it. I ran back into the living room and sat on the couch, knees up to my chest, staring at the TV screen that I hadn't even turned back on. My mind was racing. I kept telling myself that maybe I imagined it, Maybe the storm and the show got to me, and I was just being paranoid. Maybe the wind was blowing through the vents in a weird way. But then, about 5 minutes later, I heard footsteps. Upstairs. Slow. Deliberate. One after the other. Moving across the hallway directly above the living room. There's no way. I knew I'd locked the front door. I knew no one had come in. There was only one way up from the basement, through the same stairs I had just closed off. The footsteps stopped above the living room, and then I heard something that still gives me chills when I think about it. The voice again. My mom's voice, right above me. "Eli, come help me with something." Except this time, it didn't even sound close. It sounded off. Like someone trying to sound like my mom. Like it had heard her talk before, and was doing a really bad impression. The words were spaced wrong. The pitch was almost right, but not quite. The tone was robotic. Like it had been stitched together out of recordings. I didn't move. I just sat there on the couch, holding my breath, trying not to cry. Eventually, it stopped. The voice. The footsteps. Everything. I don't remember falling asleep, but I must have dozed off because I woke up the next morning to the sound of the front door opening. It was actually my mom this time. Real. Physical. Visibly exhausted from her shift. She asked why I was sleeping on the couch and why every light in the house was on. I didn't know what to say. I tried to tell her what happened, but she just chalked it up to a bad dream mixed with a scary show and a thunderstorm. But I know what I heard. I know what I smelled. And the weirdest part? The basement light was on. The next morning. I hadn't turned it on. I never did. We moved out of that house the following summer after my mom took a new job in another city. I never told anyone else what happened. Not in full, anyway. But sometimes, even now, I'll be alone in my apartment, watching TV with the volume up a little too loud. And I'll think I hear someone calling my name from the hallway. And every single time, my heart drops. Because the voice always sounds just like her. But I know it's not.